Welcome to my check. This is your girl Jules. Today we are talking about religion and the role of the church in the lives of the queer people. Today we have Shawn and we have Sam. Welcome to my check, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You should feel free, ne?
Yeah.
Okay. Earlier on, I asked you why did you think that you were referred to me because I was chatting with a friend, or you know what? I'm looking to have this kind of a conversation, and I'm looking for a suitable person who will do justice to what I want to get into. And my good friend Mufuna said, you know what, Shawn is your person. Shawn is your person. I'm like, oh, okay. Tell me about Shawn. And then I saw no man. Yeah, Shawn is my person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So who is Shawn? Let's get into that. And how does Shawn identify?
Okay, my pronouns are he, him.
Mhm.
I am gay, and I'm proud Christian also. I'm a student here. I host events. I'm a vocalist. So yeah, that's pretty much me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And what do you do in church?
Okay, at church, I used to sing. I still sing when I
Used to? Oh.
Well, I still sing when I get to church. But yeah, I'm a part of the worship team. Yeah, and singing department.
Who is Sam and how does Sam identify?
Well, I am just a simple girl. There isn't really much to tell.
Mhm.
I identify as they, them, and yeah, that's pretty much.
You identify as they, them. You know, people get a lot of confusion when you're saying I identify as they, them. Why, Njani, that you referring to a group of people? So can you touch a bit more into how you identify for those for clarity?
Well, honestly speaking, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't really like labeling myself. I just I feel like I'm just human and I just do me. So I don't know. And I think me saying that I identify as they them, it's because I am actually bisexual. So I think it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why.
Okay. Shawn, or that you said for you are in the worship
Yes.
team. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
Proud.
Proudly Christian.
Yes.
Born again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would love to know about your experience as a queer person in the church. Have you had any bad experience where you felt like you were not accepted and all of that?
Okay, well, when it comes to church, it has never been a safe space for queer people.
Mhm.
Because when the homosexual conversation comes up, to them it's a sin, right? So for me, in my journey of Christianity, I've learned to not listen to what the church says, but what God says about me.
Mhm.
So I think that's how I found it to be easy to navigate my sexuality in the church. But yeah, it's the church, particularly in South Africa, hasn't been really kind to queer people.
When you're saying the church, you are referring to all religious institutions. Yeah.
Okay, I come from radical churches, so I speak from that born again Christian. I speak on behalf of my experience. I'm not sure about all churches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sam, I don't know with bisexuals. I think they get on with whatever. They don't really. But yeah, have you had any? Maybe, are you a Christian? Are you which religious group are you part of? Is that there?
I am a Christian,
Mm-hmm.
but I go to church a lot when I'm at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But honestly speaking, I've never had issues at church or around people from church. I've never really had issues or anything like that.
No, I'm not the I think that's because people wouldn't
Yeah.
really
They
tell
can't
you
really
your
tell.
sexuality
Yeah.
unless you
You
tell
see
them.
it.
Yeah, unless you tell them. So I have a question that I would like us to get into from Anonymous sent me something here.
Mhm.
She would like to know, Kore, how do you perceive being taken as sinners by the church? That's number one. And if you have encountered such experience in your church, how did you deal with all the predicaments of not being accepted?
Oh, please repeat that question again.
How do you perceive being taken as sinners?
Sin.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we know that, but you know,
Yeah.
homosexuality is a sin,
Mhm.
whatnot and whatnot. And the church tends not to talk about, like, as long as it's not talked about. It's
True.
okay as a queer person being there.
Yeah.
Mara,
Yeah.
as long as you being vocal about it, or, you know,
It becomes
yeah,
a problem,
yeah.
So I think for me, again, I've learned not to listen to what the church says, but what God says about me,
Mhm.
right? And what I mean about that is that how I navigate my relationship with God is that the way you read and you understand your Bible is going to be different from how I will read and understand my Bible.
Mhm.
Understand? So I take it, it's really a personal relationship that you have with God. So if we both read Genesis,
Mhm.
you are going to get a different revelation or a different understanding. Now that's you speak, that's how your relationship and your God is. And when I read that scripture, we might have different meanings. So I take it, my Bible and my God, it's my contract with my God. So of course, in a workplace, a contract which will not be the same.
Mm.
So that's how I really, they will always view homosexuality as a sin, but for me, only God will be the one to tell me otherwise.
Yeah, I don't get why.
Yeah.
Why there are other sins that are perceived as,
Handpicked,
you know,
better.
yeah,
Mm.
better than other
Okay.
sins. But then the Bible that we're reading, I'm also a
Exactly.
Christian, it's saying, oh, there's no sin that's better than the
Than the
other. So
other.
if you're going to say I'm a sinner,
We are
and then
all
who
sinners.
are you?
Mm.
What about you? Or what?
True.
Yeah, I as a Christian, the Bible that I'm reading, the only sin that's greater than any other sin is grieving the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
So if I'm not doing that, and I'm here to, I go
True.
to church for fellowship,
True.
and that's the only reason I go to church, for fellowship.
that's
And
it.
if I'm there because of my reasons of being there, because of my personal relationship with God,
Mhm.
and then when I in anyhow, ungena phi muthi lenza ntoni
Exactly.
ngabani, yeah.
That's true. That's really true.
So how do you think, Sam, how do you think, or what do you think the Church of South Africa, I'm talking about all religious institutions, could do to make it more, to be accepting, let's say, to be accepting,
Wait,
we put it that way.
So your question is, how do I think?
What do you think
Uh-huh.
the Church of South Africa,
Uh-huh.
the churches in South Africa,
Okay.
could do to be accepting? Or do you see it ever being a thing?
I don't really know, but pastors, religious people, you know how they are. They don't want to hear anything else, like everything else that doesn't agree with what they believe God is expecting from us.
Mm.
Anything else, they don't want to hear it. They just think it's all demonic and all of that. So I don't know if they'll ever accept queer people But what they can do to be more accepting, more welcoming to queer people, I think they can just stop avoiding the topic in church, and when talking about it, I think they shouldn't judge. They shouldn't judge queer people, because at the end of the day, you all are to be judged by God, and no one has the right to judge anyone. And so I feel like we should just allow queer people to feel welcome in churches, talk about it. It's not a disease. It's not you being demonic or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, you didn't make yourself. It's not something that you just woke up and decided, but nah, I want to date the same gender. I want to be like this. No. It's something. I think we are all born like this. So I think they should just talk about it more and stop saying or telling people Uguti it's actually satanic. You need to find God and all of those things.
Shawn, what do you do when you see somebody can be treated unfairly or akhatella?
Okay, I haven't encountered that, but I think I'm one person to speak up if there's something wrong.
I'm not only talking about homosexuality.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah, if I understand, like, depends on what's really going on. But I've never encountered. But if I were to encounter and I feel like this is my point of view, I would point it out. I would ask.
So pointing out things could really solve many problems, because I think if you are seeing something wrong and then you don't speak up, even if it's not happening to you,
true.
I think you are part of the problem.
Yeah,
I've had this experience. So, Barcelona, they do things differently.
Sure.
And like the characters of Barcelona, so I'm just saying from where I was at that time. So there was this Han in the praise and worship team. Then the Han got pregnant. And then Church Botoya Murisa was come here.
Yeah.
No, we are now going to suspend you because you are pregnant. But then, should it be a fellow brother? Yeah, it
wouldn't.
Yeah,
it's not going to be a problem.
It happened. There was a fellow brother who impregnated somebody, and then they just it never happened. You understand?
Yeah.
So now somebody who voices such things out, there's a lot of unfairness and all of that's happening again. And then when you're talking about such things, they'd be like, no, you know how it will be. The thing is, it will be like we are saying, sin is okay, because now this one is pregnant, and if she's there in front of the people, they're gonna see now, because now this one is a it's a guy
who doesn't care.
Yeah. So there are just a lot of things that are happening in the church.
True.
And then also one time I went to this other church. I was a visitor. Yeah. I think I was visiting for like it has been a few months. Yeah. Then this one time, this elder in the church calls me, and she's like, "Hey, Monaka, like why all of that?" And then I'm sitting there. I don't know if I should answer her.
Yeah.
Because now, I'm actually, I want to get in.
And do what
I'm here to do. I'm not going to make friends. Now, this is how I am right now. I go, I'm the first one to leave. Yeah. So, you know it.
And I think that's the problem with many churches, is that now personally I feel the whole way. But cool, pastors are not really the problem. It's really those who
people around the church
who make church also to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, so Mama was on to Mandibisa. Then I
Like
was
to
like, you
recommend.
know what?
Mm.
I'm gonna answer. If he
Yeah.
hates me, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Then I said, Hore, but when you have piercings on your earlobes or the earrings, and that's okay. Who told you that it's okay to pierce your earlobes? Let's
Mm.
start there. Who told you that it's okay to
True.
pierce your earlobes? Then I'm like, and then she was like, no, we will see you after church, what.
Yeah,
And then they called the pastor after church now, but no.
Oh, now they are. Okay.
Yeah. Then I'm like, you know, the pastor did not even have anything to say. I'm like, where does it even, you know, the history behind piercing
Exactly.
earlobes? Who told you Hori, it's okay?
Mhm.
There are a lot of things that are not in the Bible, like how the story of Enoch is not all of there in the Bible. They will just tell you Hori, Enoch was too righteous, then he was taken by God, what. But then, when you do your studies, then you look into the book of Enoch, it will tell you where does all of this emanates. And they emanate from sin. They all emanate from sin.
sin.
So you're piercing your earlobes, that emanates from sin, but you are judging me. What's
Yeah.
that? And I'm
What's
coming to
that?
church presenting like this.
Mhm.
So what's that? It's okay. Because the Bible will tell you the it says the daughters of the sons of God,
Mhm.
right? They had intercourse with the daughters of men. I think I would like to believe those are the angels, the
Yes.
sons of God. And then they fell in love, they became one with them and all of that. And they taught them all of these things. They taught them the art, they taught them the what and the what and the what, right?
Yeah.
And those are the practices that we are doing in this age, and now they have evolved and they are even better.
And you're continuing to evolve.
Yeah. And then now everyone is judging everybody
True.
without knowledge of, okay, where does
What
this
we do
come
right.
from?
Yeah.
Where does this come from? Okay, let's get into the heteronormative traits or behaviors you've came across in your relationships.
In my relationships and this community, and I think it's something else. So with the gay community, kuningi man, there's taking desirability that comes into place. What is desirable and what is not. So in this community, even with mainstream, like the only gay guys that you see on TV are the sexy ones, six-pack, and all of that. You find other gay guys wanting or imposing masculinity on other gay guys. So, no, after 9, and when we are both we are both men, but when you want, so it's just those many challenges. But in my relationships, I haven't experienced any of those, but it's things that I'm aware of in this community that are real,
You, Sam.
Me would definitely be there. You know what they say with everyone being in love with obsessed with their exes. Yeah, definitely that. So I've heard about, I would just hear people talking about that. These dads are always so obsessed with their exes. You're always gonna be. And I thought to myself, well, I haven't experienced that, so I guess Luna literally but toxic, guys.
Yeah.
I'm good. Until I came across the same thing. The only problem is that in my case, it isn't just one ex. There's like a lot of exes. And yeah, that would make us fight all the time, but it wouldn't stop. And then there's this manipulative behavior with them, where they do something wrong and they turn the whole situation and make you feel like you're the problem. Yeah, definitely those.
Let me rephrase. I said the heteronormative traits you came across in your relationship. You know those in heterosexual relationships, how there's a male and there's a female,
Oh.
and you know, but this is what a male should do. This is yeah, you know, you as a male should take care of this or not.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, I came across that too. I think with most of the people I've been with. Yeah, I always had to be like the feminine when I was always dominated. So there were certain things that I was not allowed to do to them that they did to me because
Of the role.
That's
yeah,
deep.
the role. Yeah, so yeah, I've dealt with that. And well, it even goes to even paying. When we're going out, I'm not allowed to pay for anything. They pay. Yeah, so yeah.
How did that make you feel? You feel like, nah, I'm okay with that. I'm cool. I love it.
Honestly speaking, firstly, the roles in the bedroom, who gets to do what to who and who doesn't get to do it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really like that. It kind of frustrated me sometimes because obviously we all have our fantasies with our with our people. So, but then I guess you know, when you're in a relationship, there's that thing of I have to understand all these things. We try to understand a lot. And when it comes to the paying and all of that, I just, it wasn't that much of a problem because I would try to, okay, if they don't allow me to pay for stuff, what I can do is I'll just buy them a gift thingy. And then, well, it was an issue when I insisted on like, let me say I'm like suggesting, babe, let's go out for lunch or something. And then they want to like take over now. And I'm like, I'm the one who asked you out. So.
Okay, Shawn, how do you think that the homophobia in the church affect a lot of queer people?
It affects them.
Or in their faith.
It affects them because now, if you look at population of queer people in South Africa, it's very few gay people who are Christian. Then it's either even here on campus. Population, I think it's either half of them, they don't believe in anything, or they believe more in African spirituality. So it does affect because then it takes away from the experience with God, because now, again, like I said, they view the church opinions more than what God says about them. So I think how I survived is I know what my God says about me. So whatever you say can't move me. Can't tell me otherwise.
Your relationship with God is a personal relationship with God, and your work is personal. So if you're gonna, I think a lot of people, they are like churchgoers, mostly they are churchgoers. Rather than believers, you having a personal relationship with God. You go to church on a Sunday for the pastor to read his Bible to you, and then you just says. But then you don't listen to your spirit, to what is God saying into your life. So it's important to have discernment and have a personal relationship with God. Let's shout out your Insta, Shawn.
On Instagram, I am at @it's_Sherbear.
I am Spacey Clemtator 647
on
Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, that was my mic check. The mic is on. Tell your daddy, to tell your mom, to tell the kids, to tell the neighbor that the mic is on and it's working.